It's September the 7th and we're out at one of our yards doing some queen checks. We're going through all our colonies, making sure we got a laying queen and that the patterns look good. It's getting close to that time where if you're going to requeen, you need to go ahead and get it done, especially for us in the central Piedmont of North Carolina. Time's running out. We want to make sure all these colonies, the patterns look good, and we indeed do have a laying queen. We're also going to be feeding this yard one last time before the fall flow. Going to be dropping some sugar syrup in the colonies and also putting some pollen patties out. We do have pollen coming in now, so they may not touch the pollen patties, and we'll keep a check on it. If they hadn't messed with them, you know, in a week we'll take them out of there. Hopefully we'll have a good pollen flow. I've seen a lot of pollen coming in now, but you know, it can be hit or miss, so we're going to keep a check on that and get these bees buttoned down for winter. Now is the perfect time to start getting your colonies ready to overwinter. And we do a lot. We feed a lot. We add all the supplement they'll take, and we just want to see that brood nest, you know, go from summertime to wintertime, and at least, you know, have 3 or 4 frames of brood, you know, going now, because now's when we're raising our winter bees. We've done our mite treatments, done our mite washes. Everything looks good so far. So hopefully these colonies will go into the winter good and strong. Put some more in there. Fill it up. Just go slow. A lot of times with these spring feeders, the bees will clog it up with propolis and Bur Comb, and it'll clog it up for a minute, and you got to go slow when you're feeding. After we get these bees fed up for the fall and winter, we'll take that out and we'll clean them up real good, slide them back in before we close them up for the last time. Lots of bees, lots and lots of bees. Feeding pollen supplement and 1-to-1 sugar syrup during the dirt really promotes our bees to grow to where they're able to take advantage of that fall nectar flow if we get one. And they, like I say, they may not touch this pollen supplement we're adding now, but they have it if they need it. As far as hive beetles go, you know, if they hadn't touched it in a week, we'll come back, we'll take it off the colony, we'll dispose of it. What we use for pollen supplements, Ultra Bee, and we mix it equal parts Ultra Bee, equal parts granulated sugar, and then 2-to-1 sugar syrup. We do put it in wax paper. I've done it both ways, without wax paper, just putting a glob of patty into the colony. I like the wax paper the best. It seems to do better for us. Good strong bees. Mite-free bees. Well, I say mite-free. We're not mite-free, but we have a low infestation of mites right now. It's September the 14th and we're out at one of our yards doing some basic maintenance. Weeds were getting high in front of the colonies and we were taking care of that. We need to get out here and cut pretty soon. The bees are bringing in some pollen, a lot of foraging activity going on in these colonies. However, there's a few that are still small, and it's been small, you know, going on for months now. And we're gonna go in those colonies. We're gonna find the queen, see how she's doing. If she's doing good, we may save her in case any other beekeepers around us needs a queen to get one of his colonies through the winter, but we're not going to use her in our operation. We're going to combine these colonies with some that are doing great and get these bees buttoned down for winter. You can't, this time of year, you can't go into the winter with a queen that's not doing good. A subpar queen this time of year could spell disaster come springtime. And we want to raise all the winter bees that we can raise, you know, in the months of September and October in our location. So we're going to go in, combine some colonies, find some queens, and the queens that aren't cutting it, we're going to get rid of. And we may save a few if their patterns look good, but we won't use them ourselves. We may give them away, but the ones that just are not cutting the mustard, we're going to kill them and get them out of here. We'll combine those colonies and take our losses in the fall. It's very important, in my opinion, to take your losses in the fall versus the spring and know what you got going into the winter. One good, healthy, strong colony going into winter is a lot better, in my opinion, than 2 or 3 small colonies that's questionable, to see if you're going to be able to get them through. So that's what we're doing today. We brought you along just kind of show you how we do it. A lot of different ways to do it. We're going to use the newspaper method to combine them. We've had a lot of success with that, and we'll show you how we do it. Stay tuned. Another thing we like to do whenever we combine these colonies is give them some feed. It makes the transition a little less stressful on them. So we'll give them some sugar syrup. Anytime I'm combining bees, introducing queens or anything like that, we like to feed them. They seem to do better and are accepting your queens if you do that. Another thing we like to do is we like to combine the colony that's the weakest and put it on top where the strongest colony is. That way the foraging force comes back to the bottom and not the top. That way they're not inclined to kill the new queen that they're not used to. The fall swarms we normally see are usually around the size of a grapefruit. This one's not much bigger than a grapefruit. What we're going to do is we're going to drop it in this nuke. We've got a deep hive over here that we've got some drone comb in. We're going to drop them down in that, see what they do. If they do anything, we'll combine them with another small colony we've got for the winter and use the bee power that we can get out of them. All there is to it, you just hold them under a box when they're on a small limb like this and give them a good shake, just like so. Alright, then we'll put a lid on it. We'll take that over there, Corbin. Right here today we're dropping some 2-to-1 sugar syrup in these colonies. We started feeding this yard back in July to get them ready for the winter. We've been continuously feeding through the dearth real light sugar water. About September we switched over to 1-to-1 sugar syrup, and now we're going to drop some 2-to-1. It's September the 27th. Anticipate maybe 3 more weeks, you know, of good feeding weather to get them heavy for the winter, and that's what we're going for. We like to overwinter these colonies in singles, so it's kind of like it's hit or miss. It's borderline. You feed them too much, it clogs the brood nest up. You don't feed them enough, you're running behind. So it's a game you play, and you just have to be aware of your season and what's going on. These colonies are looking good. The queens are laying, making winter bees for us. We've still got pollen supplement on them, and we're going to get them heavy as soon as we can. But you don't want to get them heavy too fast and clog that brood nest. You want her to keep raising winter bees as long as she will. So that's what we're doing today. We thought we'd bring you along. The bee crew hard at work. Another colony full of bees. Not sure if you can see, they're eating their pollen patty. So that just goes to show you they do get something out of it. I'm not sure why some colonies won't eat it and hardly touch it, but others do eat it. The only thing I can assume is that they need the protein. The bees know what they need more than we do. And some really consume a lot of pollen supplement, and as long as they're eating it, we'll feed it to them. This is basically the consistency you're looking for. Not overly dry and not too wet. Like I say, we are going to stick this in between 2 pieces of wax paper to help hold it together, and also it helps keep some of the hive beetles out of it as the bees are consuming it. It helps them protect it just a little better. Basically, you want it where you can, you know, ball it up kind of like a baseball, into a baseball, you know, consistency like that. It's real pliable. Holds together well, and you know, the bees can get in there on top of that and work it and defend it a little easier from the small hive beetles. Like I say, we are going to put this between some wax paper. Probably won't show that on the video. That's pretty self-explanatory. We like to feed anywhere between 1/4 to 1/2 pound depending on the colony size, and this is enough here to, in small hive beetle country, for us to give all of our colonies a little bit of pollen supplement for the inclement weather that's coming up next week. So we hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Like I mentioned, we're out here doing mostly spot checks and cleaning up this yard. This colony is doing really good. It was started earlier as a small tiny nuke, and as you can see, they've consumed all their pollen supplement patty we put on there. They've eaten all the syrup, so we're going to give them some more syrup and another patty on there just to supplement. We've got some heavy rains and maybe some storms coming in all week this week, so we want to make sure they got plenty of protein so they have something to chew on and eat. That way they don't have to go into the reserves and feel like they don't have. We'll take a look at a few more. My main goal was to check on that virgin queen we had, see what we were going to do with that colony so we could save our combs. Yeah, there's no issue with this colony. This one's right on the money. right where we want to see it. We'll come back through, we'll scrape that Bur Comb off. We keep an 1.5 feet rim on our colonies, not year round, but all winter long. And we'll discuss that in a later video of why we do that. If you can see where the cluster is at, right here, that's where we're going to put these sugar bricks. We're going to put them right over top of the clusters. Just like that. These also act in the spring when we start adding we'll put jars of sugar syrup on to stimulate them early about the first pollen flow. And sometimes with the change of temperatures, they'll lose the vacuum in the jar and it'll dribble down. Another thing that these sugar bricks do is provide a spot where to catch that dribble of the jar, so it's not dripping cool syrup down on the cluster. Same with this, you know, another large cluster. As you can see, they're not real happy to see us, but another large cluster, but no food. Now they've got some 2 or 3 frames of sugar syrup in this colony, but that won't last maybe 3 weeks the way they're starting to brood up. So we're gonna have to keep a real close check on these. Hopefully we can get a warm spell and we can come out here and drop some buckets of syrup on them, but you know, it's still gonna be pretty chilly for us the next week or so, so dry sugar is gonna be our best option. And we are using Ultra B, that's our preferred pollen supplement. I would like to try Nutra B. A lot of people like it pretty good, but I hadn't been able to source it locally, so I think it's more of a Canadian and a West Coast thing. So if anybody knows where to source some Nutra B and get it shipped, leave that in the comments below. Well, we finally got the bees taken care of, got up to Sevierville. Now we're at the Texas Roadhouse getting ready to eat some supper, but waiting on the Hive Life conference in the morning. There's the queen bee to the right, so we're gonna get off here and go eat, but I hope to see you guys at the Hive Life conference if you're there. If you're coming, how about leaving a comment below and letting us know. We'd love to meet you guys. Drive safe. Hey guys, we're at the Hive Life conference, fixing to go into the bluegrass show and see Cayman playing the mandolin. Be pretty interesting. There's Lindsay in the back.
Hey.
We got to meet a bunch of cool people today. Really enjoyed talking to the people that we see on YouTube a lot. Saw a lot of neat ideas for our honey house and equipment we're probably going to purchase later on. So had a good day. It's been a long day, but we'll keep you updated what we're doing. Thanks for watching.